we kind of alluded to this last segment. The type of player that the Guardians seem to like, position player, middle infield
Hmm.
guy, puts the ball in play. Is that? I
Yep, they
mean, is
love it.
that fair? Is that a fair?
Oh, it's totally fair. I mean, it's a running joke in the industry is that, who's the 5'7" college middle infielder who doesn't strike out? That's Cleveland's guy, obviously. And honestly, if they pick 20th, they'd probably end up taking a guy like that, just as they pick first. And the joke coming into the year was they were going to take JJ Weatherholt at West Virginia, who is a little bit of an undersized, not tiny, but a little bit of an undersized shortstop who doesn't stay there but can really hit. And it is a great swing. He's got a great swing. The only reason I think Weatherholt's out of consideration is he's been hurt almost the whole spring, dealing with the second major hamstring injury he's had in the last 12 months. And I think you just can't do that. And I've spoken to even teams drafting a little bit behind him who are like, we like Weatherholt, but we can't take that risk because what if this hamstring thing is really a long-term issue? Because it's now, like I said, it's two in the last 12 months. So, but it was like, well, Cleveland's going to take Weatherholt. What are you talking about? That's obviously their guy, a middle infielder who never strikes out. Yeah, that's it. Why are we even bothering at this point? I mean, the fact that Weatherholt got hurt actually maybe opened up more possibilities for them. And they had to consider the broader draft class and look at some other guys. And, good, because you mentioned before, they have had a really hard time developing middle of the order bats. The best prospect of that sort in their system coming into the year was Kyle Manzardo, who wasn't their draft.
Right.
They got him in a great trade. That's kind of it. I'm not the biggest DeLauder fan. I think the swing is going to cause real issues for him. I think we've already seen a little bit of that when he's been healthy this year. And even DeLauder was more a bet, I think, on high contact rates, ability to hit, rather than power upside.
Is that by design that they are not? I mean, you look back, they had Clint Frazier, that didn't pan out. That was a high school guy,
Right.
though.
Mm-hmm.
They really have stayed away from power guys. Is that a philosophy?
Yes. I think it's
Is it an economic one? Because the thought would be, man, if you hit on him, second contract, that's going to be hundreds of millions.
I think it's the opposite. Like, I don't think they're eschewing power, but that they are highly favoring contact. And they're not the only team that does that. Pittsburgh has done this quite a bit as well, where it is and this is a scouting philosophy that goes back way before my time too. The old saying is you have to hit for power. And you can get guys stronger and you can change swings. Look at what the Dodgers have done with Will Smith and Chris Taylor and Max Muncy. And I mean, the Dodgers, it's what Cleveland does with pitchers, the Dodgers seem to do with position players. We can make swing changes if we see their underlying characteristics. And even very modest. I mean, Will Smith's swing change was not dramatic, but they got him to lift the ball enough that he's become, would they just give him a 10-year contract? I mean, Will Smith is a superstar. I saw Will Smith in college. I was like, that's a nice player. Oops. But with Cleveland, I think the idea is contact is an undervalued facet of the modern game, right? Because we're so power focused, and guys get bigger, they get stronger. As an industry, we can improve power. Cleveland has not done that. That's the issue. And I will say, and this is not just my opinion, but the opinion of many other scouts who've watched their system, some of what they've done with hitters' swings have not been helpful. Like Jose Tena is a guy who's really struggled to take any kind of big step forward because of some of the swing changes that they've implemented with a lot of these guys. And I mean, Tena last year, it looked like at least two different swings, maybe three over the course of the season. Young Kenzie Noel, another guy who does have big power, I mean, huge power. I have been at games and seen him hit a ball out at about 109, where it was like hurt my ears loud. And then next time I see him, what, they're trying to make him a contact hitter? Like, what is this? But so I don't think they have that formula like they have for pitching. So it's fine if you want to take those high contact guys, but there has to be sort of a step two now. These are the things we're going to do with the swing, with the body, with the approach to unlock more power. That's why I found the selection of Rafi Velasquez last year so interesting, and that they've basically given up on him catching is, no, we think he is going to be hit, get on base, power. And if he does have the raw power, we'll see. Got off to a nice start this year. He's obviously very young too. It's too early to draw any big conclusions. But that was a very non-Cleveland pick. And I like that. I like seeing teams get a little out of their comfort zone, especially in the first round, and to say, we're just going to take the best player. And even if he's not our type, It's fine to have a type, but you can't only take your type. At some point, you have to recognize that's just not what the draft is giving you. And if the best player at your pick isn't your type, don't pass on the best player unless you really think you just cannot help him.